So you decided to click the video. Today, I'm gonna be talking about Tomodachi Life. It's one of my favorite games that I come back to every now and then, and play it. Now I own both of the Tomodachi Lives. I own the one that came out on the 3DS and the original one, Tomodachi Life Collection. I love playing these games. I love playing Tomodachi Life. I love creating like me's to go inside the apartments. I love making their relationships go up and stuff. I like it when they have families. I like it when they get married. But the main thing I don't like about the game is when you come back to the game, they always have babies. Like if you haven't played the game for a long time, like sometimes I don't play the game all the time because well I want to do other stuff or I just don't want to come back to it. Um Basically everybody had this moment where you want to revisit your old game that you haven't played for a long time. Like Tomodachi Life is one of my favorite games. Okay, even if I abandon my mates, it's not because I want to. It's because I got like a ton of other hobbies that I like doing. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Um, Whenever I come back to playing Tomodachi Life, the 3DS version, they always have babies. Like soon as you open up the game, you click start, you get the phone call, and then they had a baby, and you gotta name the baby. And then sometimes you run out of space trying to like put a new person on the island. After they kids grow up, you gotta decide whether or not they're gonna leave the island or stay in the apartment. That's part of the game. But for those of you who don't know what Tomodachi Life is, I'm going to show you what Tomodachi looks like. Tomodachi Life looks like, and then I'm going to explain it to you what the game is about. Okay, so let's get started. Mii's. Okay, we're going back to the early days of the Nintendo Wii. Mii characters are like these characters that you can create and then you can play as them. Like if you own Wii Sports back in the day, and if you own a Wii, they had Mii characters. Okay, so you get to make your own character that represents you, and you get to use them in games and these sports games. Like they had Wii Sports, and then they had another version of Wii Sports. I forgot what their version was called. But these are Mii's characters. For those of you that don't know what Mii's are, okay? Um, let's talk about Tomodachi Life now. Excuse me, let's talk about Tomodachi Life a little bit more. So, this is just me explaining what Mii's are. For those of you that don't know what Mii's are. So if you do know what Mii's are, you can just skip ahead, okay? Okay, so this is the island from the Tomodachi Life 3DS version. Okay, so I'm gonna break down everything you see in this photo. You have the apartment, which is in the middle of the island by the fountain. That's the apartment all your Mii's stay in, they live in. And when they get married, they can live in their own house, but they can always go back to their apartment. That little place right there, that black building right there next to the apartment, that's the place where you can create your Mii's at inside of Tomodachi Life. They got the concert hall, that building with the music symbol on it. Then you got that black building right there. That's the place where you can design some clothes that represents like your island or something like that. I can't remember. Um, the place in the back is, I think that's where you get your room decor, your wallpapers. Not your wallpapers, but various different types of room sets. Like that's where you'll buy to decorate someone's room. They have the tower where your Mii's can go and visit. There's the tent where other Mii's from different islands can go to. They go to when they're visiting your island. Then they got the little chart, the like the dark blue chart thing that's next to the concert hall. It shows you the different types of ratings on the game involving your Mii's. You got the clothing place, that building, a white building at the back to the left. That's the clothing place. It's the place where you get your clothes. You got the other place where you can sell your collectibles and antiques in front of that building. You got the place where you'll buy your food at the bottom left. That's the place where you'll buy your food. So if you get your V's, the restaurant place to the right, the red building, the building with the red roof. That's the place where your Mii's can visit. And sometimes they go and have a conversation. Now at the park where the fountain is, I think that's the park. Sometimes they have events where they sell stuff like clothes and food. And then the place right there with the photos on there, you can take pictures of your Mii's. That little tower right there with the, the television thing on it, that's your news report. Like, it gives you announcements each time you get accomplished inside the video game in Tomodachi Life. And the roller coaster, that's the amusement park. Like, your Mii's can go there to get married, so your Mii's can go in various different places to get married. It's your decision where they get married at. So that's basically what all these buildings are in Tomodachi Life. Okay, this is a personality chart. Okay, so the personality chart determines how your Mii character is going to be and how they're going to act towards the other characters. You can design it. Like, this is based on, like, I guess their personality. Yeah, it's based on personality, but you can like rate it however you want to rate it. You can rate it like how you act in real life, or you can rate it however you want to rate it. There's various different types of personalities on Tomodachi Life, and most of the time you won't get the same outcome when rating your Mii's. Like yeah. You basically won't get the same outcome when you're doing these personality things, and sometimes you will. And if you want a different personality, you can just try to change the options by changing the amount revolving around the personality. Yeah, so most of my Mii characters do have the same personality, but not all of them, because when I was playing recently, I had looked at different personalities up so they can all have their own different personalities, because I didn't really like unlock all the personalities in my game. When I played it the first time, I didn't unlock a lot of personalities on the game, but when I had to reset it in my game, I decided I wanted to put various different types of personalities, so I looked it up online to see which types of different personalities they got, and then I gave some of my Mii characters those personalities. That's how all my characters, are very different while I'm playing the game. Okay, so your characters can get married based on how high their relationship is. Like, you can determine this by looking at the status, like how many friends your Mii's has. You can look at that, and then if the character's name is green, or if it tells you whether or not a character likes another character, because it has a status next to it. So it will say, let's get married. And then, like, sometimes if they're real good friends, they'll say good friend, and then next to another person's name, they'll say best friend. But based on how high the relationship is between two Mii's, that determines whether or not they will get married. your Mies can become friends, and then when they become best friends, they'll often come to each other's apartment and visit each other's. If their friend is married, they'll come to their house and visit them and watch, watch the game together or just hang out with them. Yeah. So based on how high their relationship is, they'll often go and visit each other. Sometimes they'll get into an altercation. Like you can tell when two friends get into some drama because they'll be like really mad and there'll be like some type of fire thing around them. That's when they. That's when both of them had a fight. Okay, and then like sometimes another friend of both of them can um they can patch shit up. They can patch the relationship back together. You know, and sometimes they stop being friends if the fight is too bad. Let's talk about families. Okay, so when a couple gets married, they move into a house, and then when they've been together for a long time and they have a big relationship, they decide to have a baby. But it's based on your decision whether or not they should have a baby. Okay, so it's up to you. And they'll tell you, like, you'll see like a heart thing in their apartment. It's like a heart icon in the window in their apartment. And then they'll tell you, I'm unsure what to do. Then you click it, and then they say that they're thinking about having a baby, and you can say that's no, or you can say yes. You can decide whether or not they should have a baby. Now it's up to you. But this happens when the couple, like two people, are married. It don't happen if they're boyfriend and girlfriend. It only happens if they're married. Um, Also, there's an option whether or not you want them to have babies. Like it's a setting. So you can turn off the setting if you don't want them to have babies, or you can turn it on, the settings. Yeah, you gotta turn it on, like settings. Okay, so let's talk about the lookalike. You are the player. The first me you create represents you, okay? So whenever you're doing a mini game, it'll look something like this, and there's a hand. I think the hand represents the player. Okay, so most of the time when you come and stop by the Mies, they'll tell you, "Hey, look alike," like the player. They'll say, "Hey, the player's name look alike," and you're the player, and the hand represents you. You can pet your Mies. You can pet them. You can help calm down their babies and stuff, and sometimes you can give them money as a gift and stuff. Whenever they level up, they do level up. Like there's this board thing, and whenever you interact with your Mies, they'll level up, and you can give them different prizes too. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, but these hands, they represent the player. So if you haven't played some of that life, that's what they represent. If you're new to playing it too. If you're new to playing it too. And if you need info on this, I'm just okay, I was just explaining it, okay? Okay, so let's talk about Tomodachi Life Collection, the Japanese exclusive Tomodachi Life. It was only released in Japan. Okay, and I had bought this game, I think it was last year I had got it. It's basically Tomodachi Life, but it's Japanese. And the only reason why I know how to play it is because I got used to the controls. It's the same thing, I got the mini games on there. You can create your characters. They get married. If they get married, they'll show the critics and stuff. Yeah, they can get married. You can get them different things to change what their room look like. They can get sick. Sometimes I get confused about what they want because it's not easy playing a Japanese game if you don't read or speak Japanese. It's not easy. So sometimes they get sick. Sometimes they want to take a bath and stuff. And they do the same thing that they do on Tomodachi Life. It's the same thing. Okay, so I want to talk about why I love Tomodachi Life. Okay, the first reason why I love Tomodachi Life is it's very fun and it always keeps me distracted. I can make the characters level up fast. I can observe what they're doing. You can give them different outfits. You can give them stuff to decorate their rooms and stuff. And then you can play tons of various mini games and stuff on it. Never get bored at all. Then you can make a lot of different needs and stuff and put it in your island. That's fun. You can just basically it's playing with life, but it's a simulation. It doesn't have an objective. The only objective you have is to keep your Mii's happy. That's it. This game is just my favorite. My favorite you know, Nintendo games on the handheld devices. Tomodachi Life is one of those games where you can just kick back and chill and this is one of those games that keep you distracted and you can have a fun time with it. And if you haven't played Tomodachi Life, you should grab a copy. If you have a 3DS and you want to play something fun, something you never played before, get Tomodachi Life. It's a bunch of people who still play the game till this day. There's a whole community dedicated to Tomodachi Life on Reddit. You can share your creations on there with everybody else. You can share friend codes. You can get various different outfits. You can have people visit your island. This is just one of my favorite games that I can just always come back to and just start back playing where I left off. It doesn't matter how long I haven't played it. Sometimes your Mii's do feel kind of bad that you left them, and they do question it, and they'll be shocked to see you after a while if you haven't played it. But you can always start back where you left off at, and then tend to your Mii's. Like you played it, like you've been playing it for a whole week. So that is what Tomodachi Life is. It's a 3DS game that came out several years ago, and it had major popularity. And this game, I ain't gonna lie, it was expensive when it first came out, and it's still is. If y'all trying to get it right now, it still is. But it was so popular, and it still is. And many people want a sequel to happen. I don't think Nintendo even discussed came out and said that they was gonna do another sequel to it. This is just the second installment we got on the 3DS. But many people want Tomodachi Life to come back. Nintendo players from the people who play on Nintendo Switch want another Tomodachi Life. We don't know if Nintendo, will pick up on this franchise and do another Tomodachi Life and bring back this whole concept. But for now, you can play it on your 3DS. You can play the Tomodachi Life collection. Yes, you can play it on your 3DS. If it's a English version of the 3DS, yes, you can play it on your 3DS. Just because it's a Japanese game doesn't mean sometimes Japanese games don't work on English consoles. But for some reason, Tomodachi Life Collection works on mine, and it works great. So, if you're looking to play a fun game to pass the time, and to just still play your 3DS, consider buying Tomodachi Life. And don't forget to buy the Tomodachi Life Collection too. And I'll see you guys in the next video.